Hello and welcome to a S.H.I.E.L.D. video, and today we're looking at X-Force Omnibus Volume 1, and this is a re-release. So previously they released this, X-Force in Deadpool, and then X-Force in Cable, so Volume 2 and 3 as such. Now, I actually sold mine last year. I sold it with perhaps the idea in my head that New Mutants of Volume 4 was going to perhaps include the end of New Mutants and, well, basically this in a nutshell. However, they seem to be going perhaps down a different route. So we're either going to get more of a defined X-Force release. And I mean, people may buy just X-Force by itself, but I can't see any. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but most people that like X-Force is because they liked New Mutants first and a majority of that course. And then obviously this is the young kids sort of grown up in a bit more adult themed. So the other thing that I thought of, and maybe I've got my count wrong on how many New Mutants issues are actually left, and they're just going to round it up to the end, or they're going to move on to other New Mutant content that is out there perhaps. But regardless, I have re-brought this again, and I wouldn't be surprised if they either define X-Force a little bit more or they just release X-Force in Deadpool, which they easily could. So here is the standard cover, and there is the side. Got nice Cable down there at the bottom in that very special X-Force suit that most of us have come to love. And this collects New Mutants 98 and 100. So bear in mind, New Mutants, I think the last volume finishes around 80 something. So there's still a chunk of content to come. New Mutants Annual 7, X-Men Annual 15, X-Factor Annual 6, X-Force 1 to 15. Spider-Man 16, and Cable, Blood, and Metal 1 to 2, and material from New Warriors 1 and X-Force Annual 1. I find it a bit weird that it's just material from X-Force Annual 1 and not just the whole damn thing. I do find that a bit bizarre. So how many issues is that? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, about 23 issues. It's a bit of a small omnibus, as you can tell, compared to the chunky New Mutant volume. So on this side, you have the creators, and on this side, synthesis. And even now, after having this for all these years, or rebuying this, I have never read the synthesis. So nice standard X-Force on the side and underneath there. And let's bring this down here very, very carefully. And we very, very carefully try to do this with the camera. And this will either lead to disaster or it will be quite successful. So far, not so successful. And let's bring my light around a little bit so it's not full casting a shadow. And we've got the same things we just talked about. Who all the writers are, mainly Rob Liefeld, Fabian Nisa, apologies, I'm pretty sure I just said Fabian's name incorrect, and he is a legend in the X universe. And then we've got all the issues here. And then we get a sort of previously, and everything going on around there, and then we get stuck into here as well in terms of this. Now, I'm just wondering when the Extinction Agenda Executioner song happens, because that happens very early in X-Force's days, and I'm pretty sure that is not covered in this book at all, apart from perhaps the issue, or that issue could be in volume 2. I generally can't remember. That X-Force going on there. So I do mean it, bear in mind it's a few years since I've read this. I do remember reading it and finding it quite enjoyable. You know, this is the early 90s. This is the art that I liked from the 90s before it went a bit, not weird. Every artist has a right to their own their own unique style. I don't feel like I was loving late 90s style compared to the way that I loved early 90s styles. It still had a little bit of, what's the word? Tinginess from the 80s. 80s and 70s is probably where I enjoyed art the most, for me personally. I think it was that. I mean, obviously that's Stryfe there. I was just wondering if that was leading into that event that I was just talking about. I guess they're just put, I mean, I can't remember if the issue is just dropped out in volume 2. I completely forgot where it rocks up, but I feel like it was very early in this stage. I mean, I think we're still getting little bits of Stryfe popping up here and there. Deadpool makes obviously his debut in this book, as well as some of the externals, which Cannibal later believes that he is one of them. And then I think, isn't it disproven at some point? I cannot remember. It gets so confusing, and sometimes recons happen quite a bit. But yeah, this is a beautiful book. It's a nice book. I really do like it. I really did enjoy it quite a bit. And definitely one, if you missed out first time around, you're going to grab this, especially with the New Mutants. That's what I thought they were going in that direction. Clearly, they thought, well, we've got one mapped out. Why don't we just release that again, perhaps? Sometimes that's the way, and sometimes, well, that is it. And then I think, isn't this the direct market cover there? Or actually, is it? No, I think that's my cover. Because I was going to get that cover because I thought that one looked absolutely great. So there we go. There is X-Force Omnibus in a nutshell. Very, very simple book, in my opinion. Certainly one to have if you like New Mutants. And you like X-Force, of course, grab it. This is the first incarnation of X-Force before, well, they've changed a million times since then. Uncanny X-Force and David Yost's X-Force are probably my favorites after this. And then it's just reincarnation after reincarnation, and just everybody gets a go at being in X-Force at some point. So anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.